Hey guys, this is Justin at the Survivor Review, and today we're doing a review of the pilot episode for From Dusk Till Dawn, the series, which is based off of the movie directed by Robert Rodriguez and written by Quentin Tarantino. Now for the movie, I love that movie. It's such a fun, entertaining, insane ride of a movie that gets better every time I rewatch it. Me and Sam both love it. We did a review of it back in October. Just an all-around awesome movie. I like it so much that when I had the opportunity to meet Rob Rodriguez at Comic-Con back in August, that's all I talked about. I kept talking about how I love the movie, how I can watch it over and over. And about halfway through our conversation, he went, "You like From Dusk Till Dawn? Well, check this out. I'm doing a TV series. I'm going to start shooting soon or whatever." And when I heard that, my mind was blown. I'm like, From Dusk Till Dawn TV show? Produced by him? Like it's gonna expand on the mythology. You're gonna see more of all this stuff. It sounds so awesome, and so I was hyped, when he first said that. And then later on, I read the plot, and I got disappointed because the TV show basically is just an adaptation of the movie, spread out as a TV show. So it's about the Gecko brothers and how they took a family hostage, and they go to the bar, and then vampires appear. All that. Why? That to me sounded like the most pointless thing ever. Just, why would you need to do that? The movie's great as it is, and I don't want to see other actors play the Gecko brothers, because they're not going to be the Gecko brothers. Only George Clooney and Quentin Tarantino are the Gecko brothers. But, the show finally premiered yesterday, and I watched it, and it was okay. I didn't hate it nearly as much as I was expecting to. It was an entertaining enough show that is mediocre at best, nothing special. So basically the pilot episode adapts the opening scene from the movie, the scene at the liquor store. That's basically this pilot episode. And it is intriguing whenever they're doing something different, but a lot of times they're recreating some scenes from the original, from the movie, and whenever they recreate scenes from the movie, that's when it gets annoying. It's like, no, don't do that. I don't want to. No. There's even a scene where the actor playing Seth does the "be cool" line that Clooney did so awesomely. And when the guy says in the show, it's okay. So I didn't like that. I didn't like whenever they're recreating stuff. And I did feel that it was a situation that didn't need to be expanded to 40-45 minutes. It was good as that little opening scene of a movie. It didn't really work too well as an episode. So the cast of the show was pretty good, actually. The actor playing Richie is the best one out of the Gecko brothers, I thought. He was really good at it. He wasn't emulating Tarantino the whole time. He was doing his own thing, so I like that. The only problem was kind of with the writing, was that, he's crazy, but every other scene he was doing something weird, and like hearing things that people weren't really saying, kind of that stuff like in the movie. But he was doing every other scene. I was like, you don't have to overdo it. They're overdoing it a bit, I thought. So I found that a little annoying. And the actor playing Seth was okay. Most of the time he was just doing a George Clooney impression, which I guess that's the character. That's the way I'm used to seeing him. So it wasn't that bad. But he lacked the charm and charisma that Clooney had in the part. That just made it so believable. And so it comes off as kind of Then he didn't have as much of that type of stuff to do in this episode, so maybe when the series progresses and he has more of that stuff to do, he might get better. But in the pilot episode, he was just okay. He was doing a Clooney impression, but it wasn't. It lacked some stuff. Actually, the actor who I thought was the best in the episode is Don Johnson, who's an actor who's been in a lot of stuff in the past, actually including recently Django Unchained. Anyway, he played the sheriff. The sheriff from the opening scene from Dusk Till Dawn. If you've seen the movie, you know what I'm saying. And he was actually the standout of the episode. I thought he was really awesome. He gets more to do in the episode than the character did in the movie, definitely. And I liked him as the part. I thought he was really good as the part. Good, not replacement, but a good other version of it than the actor in the movie. So he's probably the best part of the cast. Besides that, the cast is alright. The problem with the show is that, especially if you've seen the movie, it lacks surprises. There's one cool surprising moment near the climax of the episode. I was like, oh, that's cool. But the rest of it is like you've seen it before since you've seen the movie. If you haven't seen the movie, then the show might be more surprising. But as it stands like that, it's not surprising. It doesn't have the kinetic energy of the movie. Then again, they could come from adapting this little scene and just expanding it to a 40-minute runtime, but it didn't have the energy and the action scenes that the movie did, at least so far. But whenever the show was doing something original, I was into it. Whenever they were expanding upon stuff, I was into it. There's an opening scene that happens like before the whole liquor shop scene that kind of like has to do with the mythology a bit, and I'm like, oh, okay, I want to see where that's gonna go. And they were actually expanding more on the character of Carlos, who was played by Cheech Marin in the movie and just appeared in the final scene. Well, he's in the show a bit more because he's actually in this episode, and that was interesting. Even though I didn't like the aspect of using the Gecko brothers because it just isn't right, not seeing Clooney and Tarantino in there, I did like it when they did different stuff. Like they actually showed the Gecko brothers getting to the liquor store, whereas in the movie they started out where they were already in there. That was intriguing because you didn't see that in the movie. So that stuff was alright. Like I said, whenever they were doing something new, it was interesting. It was fun. But whenever they were recreating stuff from the movie, that's when it was just like annoying and just you don't need to do it. That's the problem I also have with them adapting the movie is that it's a much closer remake. It's really close to the original. You know, it's very similar because they're in the same environment, same situations. It's not like off the top of my head because it just came out recently, the RoboCop remake, where they go in a totally new direction, so you're not watching it the whole time thinking of the original. In this show, a lot of times you're watching it and you're thinking of the movie, because it's really similar. And that's what I think is going to annoy me as the show progresses, because you know, also adding to the fact that there's no surprises, you know how the show's going to progress. You know, the next episode they're going to find the family, and they're going to take them hostage, and they're going to get across the border, then probably the next episode they're going to get to the titty twister, and then vampires show up. So it's formulaic. It's similar, especially if you've seen the movie, and that's what I find about the show. Like I said, I like the cast. I like the idea of expanding upon the mythology. That's when I'm going to get really into the show, I hope, when they start expanding upon the mythology. But as of right now in the pilot episode, we don't have that. There's no vampires in the pilots. Also, there's some more insight into how like crazy Richie is. You sometimes see what he's seeing, and he sees some sort of different type of stuff, and that was intriguing. That was different, which is what I liked when it was different. Forgot to mention the episode was actually directed by Robert Rodriguez and written by him too, I think, and that's awesome. He implies a really good style, adds a lot of style to it, which he didn't do too much in the latest movie he made, Machete Kills. So I'm assuming his heart is more into this show, which is good. That's a really good sign that hopefully this will turn out to be something awesome. But overall, I have to say the word mediocre, as in I want to see them expand the stuff. What they're doing right now is not very interesting. If that makes any sense. So that's the From Dusk Till Dawn pilot episode. That's about it for now, and until next time, I will talk to you guys later.